When building a custom commerce stack, hacking around a rigid core slows you down. To avoid that friction, eshopOS operates on a strictly API-first infrastructure. Your central control plane for this is the Developer Hub. It is where you configure every integration connecting to your system of record, whether spinning up a headless storefront or building a third-party app for the broader ecosystem. In this tutorial, we will cover 3 specific integration paths: initializing the core SDK, staging an OAuth application, and routing event-driven webhooks. By setting up these 3 connections, you can build custom, fully synchronized commerce experiences without ever having to duplicate your catalog or order data later. To generate API keys, navigate to the Control section, open Developers, and select the Credentials tab. Before generating, explicitly flip the Mode toggle to Test. This creates a matched pair: a secret key prefixed with SK_, and a publishable key prefixed with PK_. Never embed your secret key in front-end code. Secret keys have write privileges and belong strictly on your server. Your publishable key is safe for browser use because it is restricted to read-only operations. Next, open your local terminal. You will pull down the official package by running npm install @eshop-os/eshop-os-sdk. In your application code, initialize the client using that read-only publishable key. Because the platform uses unified synchronization, querying the catalog through this SDK pulls the exact same variant and pricing state that lives in your backend. Standard API keys work perfectly for a single store, but if you are building an application meant for other merchants to install, you must use the OAuth protocol. In the OAuth Apps tab, register a new application. Accurately define your allow listed redirect URIs in the website area, or authorization will fail. Then, configure allowed scopes using the principle of least privilege, selecting only the access your app needs. Once you save, the system provides a client ID and a one-time view of your client secret. Copy that secret into your secure environment immediately. When a merchant approves your application, they are routed back to your server with an authorization code. Your server exchanges that code with eshopOS to receive a bearer token. Those defined scopes act as a strict security boundary. They protect the merchant's core data while allowing you to scale your third-party app safely across the ecosystem. Writing scripts that constantly pull an API for updates wastes bandwidth and hits rate limits quickly. To build a scalable integration, you need event-driven webhooks. Open the Webhooks tab. This panel tells the platform exactly where to send data when an action occurs in your store. Enter your server's endpoint into the target URL field, then open the Subscribe Events dropdown to map specific system activities. In the full event catalog, you find high-value triggers. Subscribing to inventory.lowstock lets your server automatically generate a vendor reorder form. Alternatively, in the Orders block, subscribing to order.created pushes incoming sales directly into your off-platform fulfillment logic with 0 delay. Keep in mind one critical security requirement. Your receiving endpoint must verify the cryptographic signature on every incoming webhook payload to ensure the data actually came from eshopOS. Listening to these system events turns a static integration into an automated operations engine. You now have the pieces in place to query a headless frontend, stage an OAuth app, and automate data flow via webhooks. But as you build, you will inevitably hit a 400-level bad request or an authentication error. When that happens, your first line of defense is the request logs. Here in the request logs interface, you can filter by status and method to inspect granular details like exact payloads, status codes, and latency times. To speed up your next build, check the official developer documentation for copy-paste SDK examples and full endpoint schemas. You are now securely plugged into the core system of record, equipped to build scalable commerce experiences without constraints. Subscribe to the channel to learn more about the eshopOS ecosystem.